Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see the troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name.
Welcome to the Pewtercast. This is Ren's Training Camp Diary. I'm not Ren, though. Ren is joining me, and I got to tell you guys, I'm going to go ahead and count that intro as a big success because we actually played the music this time. If you guys watched the show a couple of days ago, the first opening 30 seconds was just me sitting here like air drumming to nothing. The podcast got the music, but unfortunately YouTube didn't. But we figured it out. Remember, and that's what we've said. This training season is a little bit of training season for us as we figure out how YouTube is going. So welcome to everybody who is watching this. Welcome to everybody who will be listening to this later in the podcast feed. We are here today to talk about Buccaneers training camp day number, Ren, I don't even know where we are. 7, 6, 12, 13. Hut. Yeah, exactly. But for whatever, today was a members access only day to the mock game. And Ren Dax, you got to be there. I was supposed to be there.
Yeah, why don't we start there? Why don't you tell that story?
Yeah.
Like what happened from when we recorded the last live pod at One Buck Place to now? Like,
well, for that we've got to back up. You know, most of our listeners know that I don't live in the Tampa area. I actually live up in Jacksonville, and so you know, because these practices are so early in the morning, I've actually got to come in the night before, and I don't mind the drive. I really don't. It's fine. I don't have a problem with it. But I'm also a dad. I'm a family guy, and you know, my family depends on me to be home and help take care of things, and to not just babysit the kids, but to be dad. So whenever I leave for multiple days at a time, it has its toll. It takes a cost on the family. So it's got to be worth it for me to go. So, we had these media access days for the last couple of days. And then for Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday was supposed to be the special members only access, this mock game, which sounded really cool. So the plan was that I'd be down there in Tampa for the 3 days. And then after today, after we actually recorded this pod, I'd jump on the road and head home. And actually I'd only be home for like a day before having to turn around and go back to Tampa because I'm going to be there on Saturday for training camp and the stick carrier takeover day. However, yesterday during the press conference, Greg Allman asked Dirk Koetter about the mock game and what we could expect from that. And honestly, Dirk Koetter made it sound not too exciting. He's like, don't read
like the answer. You
no,
did not like that answer.
I did not. And he's like, don't read too much into it. Basically, we're just going to be in spider pads, the shoulder pads, not even shoulder pads, like the like, think women's dress blazer shoulder pads, not football shoulder pads, like, and helmets. And they're going to be doing like a Friday practice where they just kind of walk through various situations and different drills. And they'll have a couple little things here and there, but it was supposed to be a down day. That was what he said. It's a break for the players. We still want to get something out of them, but it'll be a break. And, so we got back last night, actually, Ren, to your place. And, I was sitting there thinking of, I said to you at some point, I was like, if tomorrow's as lame as Dirk Koetter makes it sound, I'm going to be really mad that I spent another day down here,
away from the family.
Away from the family. Right. And so, we talked about it for a few minutes, and in the end, I decided to just go ahead and come on home. And so I left last night, and I will be back for training camp on Saturday. But because that's a real tight turnaround if I were to have stayed anyway. So that's where I am.
And not only did you not stay, like once you made the decision, you were out of here in 5 minutes.
It doesn't take me long.
It's like, you know what? I'm not going. And then I went outside, and before I got back inside, Brent was already walking out to the car with his bag and, shaking my hand. All right, buddy, see you later. And, like pebbles flying from the driveway, and he was gone. I was like, oh, all right. Well,
right.
He's going home.
Yeah. Well, now some of that was we had gotten a message from our friend Gene over at the Buck What You Heard podcast. He had asked us to potentially be on his show last night, and so if like I was in a real narrow window to get home and get the equipment set back up to be on his show at the time that we needed to be there. Now it turns out that show did not happen. And Bucks fans, I'm happy to let you know, Brent and I will be on Buck What You Heard tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, at his channel, Buck What You Heard, YouTube/Buck What You Heard, something like that. So you guys make sure you do that. We'll tweet out a link as we get closer to the time. Also, we are going to have another little mini thing that kind of comes out later today. We are going to have from the Bucks Uncensored podcast, Justin Pulowski is going to be over here, and he's going to be here with us, and we're going to talk a little bit about what Stick Hero Takeover camp, the training camp takeover, whatever they call that these days. We're going to talk about what that is. Last year was really cool. I want to hear what they have planned for today. I don't know all the details at all, and then they have this thing in New Orleans for the first game, so I'm excited to hear about that. And it sounds like these are two very cool fan experiences, and whether you consider yourself part of that group or another group or whatever, hey, listen, we're all Bucks fans, and these are all fun experiences that we get to take part of. So we're going to talk to Justin about that tonight. That should be around 8 o'clock. I'm not sure if we'll go live or not. Just stay tuned to our Twitter account, but we will be with Gene at 10 o'clock tonight as well. However, that is not what we're here for right now. Right now, we want to hear about the mock game. And Ren, the question that is on everyone's mind, including mine, am I pissed off that I left early? Was today awesome and I should have stayed, or was it as lame as we thought it might be?
And by we, you mean you.
And several other people in the media room.
Okay.
Just throw that out there.
Well, funny story.
If you tell me that they gave you media credentials today, I'm going to punch you.
No, they did not. But the funny story is I wouldn't know, because as soon as you left, I fell asleep on the couch and I did not move until 8:30 this morning.
Nice. It's been a big couple of days for us. It really has been.
Like I was out, like, Cheryl didn't know what was going on, so she didn't wake me up, and so I woke up at 8:30 and I look at my phone. I'm like, oh my God, it's 8:30. Practice starting in 15 minutes. I've got to go. So usually I can get ready like in 10 minutes and get out the door. Today it took me 20 because I'm trying to be quiet. I'm trying to creep around the bed, getting into the bedroom and collecting all my stuff, my phone, my gear, make sure I got all the right cords, make sure I got my battery back up. Where's my pen where I take notes? Where's my notepad? All that stuff. So it took about 20 minutes, jump in the car. Of course, there's traffic on the bridge, so that takes a little longer. And I get to One Buck, and you had sent me the I'm not a season or a club member, so you had to send me the ticket, right?
Right.
So Brent had sent me the ticket. He also had sent me the parking pass, but when I downloaded or transferred the ticket, I didn't transfer the parking pass as well.
I noticed that.
So I pull up, and they're like, are you a club member? I'm like, yes, I am. There's no one in line, because by now it's approaching it's like 9:30, 9:35-ish.
So it's been going on almost an hour-ish.
Almost an hour. I got about an hour left to practice. Okay. So right now I'm like, okay, great.
Better late than never.
Better late than never. No problem. Obviously I'm taking on the habits of the full credentialed media, not showing up till the last second. That's fair.
They do that. They really do. Like they do not show.
Well, if practice starts at 8:45, they really don't show up till around 9:15.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because the first 10 minutes of practice of them stretching, and then the next 10 minutes of practice of that of them just doing warming up. There's no one-on-one drills. They're just stretching, running through dummies, things like that. So
it's understandable, but to us outsiders, it's a little funny.
Yeah, well, yeah. If you're one of those people like we we're like, hey, what? You can give me credentials? Yes, you can cut off my pinky. That'll be fine. In your mind, you'd be like, I would be there at 6:30 every day, but there's really nothing to do. When you get there that early, there really isn't anything to do. So, I'm thinking, okay, I still got an hour to go. And she's like, can I see your parking pass? I'm like, oh God, I didn't transfer that. So I go, I'm backing up my phone, and thank God there's nobody behind me, because practice been going on an hour. And I go to the link to transfer the parking pass to me, and the link has expired.
Oh.
So yeah, so she's like, but she did see that I had the ticket to actually get in.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, just go on in. She's like, I see you have the ticket. She's like, this has sort of happened a little bit all day today. Like, go ahead and go in. So I go in and I just take the back parking spot, and the parking lot was full. I take like the first back parking spot, I grab all my stuff it in my pockets, and I do a slow jog up to the gate. They scan my member club like QR code. I'm in. They give me a little I thought it was a wristband, so I stuck my wrist out, and then she's sort of giving me the weird eye because I'm looking at my phone as the guy's scanning it, and I'm sticking my wrist out. I'm trying to be efficient, like let's go. But she handed me this voucher ticket, which for this shirt. If you're listening to the pod, you can't see it. It's the 2017 basically club member training camp shirt. They gave different ones out last year.
That's too bad. They wouldn't have had one my size, but that's
they did not have one in your size. I looked.
Yeah.
I looked.
Yeah. I would have got one for my kid though. It's cool. Here, let me describe it. Show it to me here, Ren. It's a white T-shirt with this kind of skull looking.
It's the front of the pirate ship.
Oh, okay. I see.
If you ever seen the pirate ship in Raging, but it's in a black and white.
And that says training camp proud crew member. Of course, crew spelled all weird and jacked up. KREWE.
Spelled like Gasparilla crew, like a crew of pirates.
Yeah.
Like more of a not crew of pirates, but like a float. Yeah. That's what they call it.
And it's got training camp 2018 on it. So yeah, it's a cool looking shirt, man. It's
And what I like about it, how it's white, is there's a lot of places for players to sign autographs on it.
Oh, there is. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. And last year's it was red, but with being white, and they made the logo sort of like a perfect, square in the middle, you could sign all around it.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of people were doing that. So I get my shirt and I go inside, and they're running red zone drills. Actually, they were running like, this is the last play of the game. We're like on the 15-yard line. Every pass is going in the end zone. So it's either touchdown, we win, or the defense knocks it down, or it's incomplete pass or whatever. If it's not a completion, we lose. So there's like 2 or 3 of those plays. Ryan Griffin's the quarterback. I get up in the stands. I get in the back. I get in my spot. I see like 2 plays. I'm like, should I start recording these? I'm like, well, let me wait to see if it's Winston or Fitzpatrick throwing. I look on the field. Like the only receiver I really recognize was Bobo Wilson. Like a bunch of guys even lower, sort of on the totem pole of like a Justin Watson or Bobo. Like the guys behind them, like Phillips and Lampert and exactly.
Who?
So so those are the guys out there. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not going to
listen to this podcast and be like, yeah, I don't, whatever. Who?
I'm sure there's people who know who they are, but very few, very, very few. The percentage is tiny.
Right.
And then Catanzaro comes out and bangs like a 53-yarder. Moore comes out and misses a 53-yarder. The whistle blows and they huddle up. And I look at my phone and like, it's 10 o'clock. I'm like, okay, like I should have been here earlier, but I've got 45 minutes. Okay. To capture this, the videos and get this out to our Twitter followers and our listeners and our fellow fans. And that was the end of practice. They cut it 45 minutes early.
No.
So I saw like 3 plays, a field goal kick, and then the players started signing autographs. And I was like, what do you know?
Oh, wow. Wow.
So I basically had the same day you did.
Well, thanks for the sacrifice.
No, I mean, I should have been there. It was just a freak thing that I fell asleep for such a long time. Like I felt like usually I don't go to sleep till 2, 3 in the morning, and so I have to set an alarm like at 6. But if I usually fall asleep like at 9, 9:30, 10, I'll wake up like at 4 or 5 in the morning. But I was out, man. And the first time I cracked an eye, I knew I was in trouble as soon as I cracked my eye because of how bright it was, inside the house from the windows and the sun. I was like, oh man.
No, they really did. Yeah, because it was scheduled till 10:45. I'm looking at the email right now that the Buccaneers sent out for this. It was scheduled till 10:45. So, all right. Well, I guess that is going to wrap up today's Training Camp Journal with Rendaxed. Thank you guys for watching. Join us on Patreon and
YouTube and tuning in.
Content? No, we're not going to do that.
We may or may not be back tonight. No. So, but from what I got from everyone else's tweets that were there and things was that the only real difference between today and training camp is there was, and I could be wrong, but from what I've gathered is there's no individual drills.
Okay.
Like they didn't break off into position groups and do drills.
Right. And Koetter said that yesterday.
Yeah.
He said that I wouldn't be doing that yesterday.
What they worked on were things like onside kicks, the punter running out of the back of the end zone to take a safety, You know, like I talked about, balls from the 15-yard line, got to score a touchdown. Things like that, like Koetter says, they usually do in walkthrough, but since they got to do it in game speed, it was you know, it was a little more helpful. But it wasn't like offense versus defense. You know, move the change. Let's see if they can stop it. If they stop you, are you going to attempt to field goal? Are you going to punt? It wasn't a scrimmage. It wasn't a mock game. It was live plays wearing spider pads. It was lots of situational football. Is what it was.
It sounds like exactly like what Koetter described yesterday, which is why I wanted to go ahead and go. And I'd like to introduce everybody to the reason that I left early. No, you're not going to take my microphone. Daddy's in a show. Can you say hi to everybody? Say hi, everybody. Say hi, everybody. All right,
or
you can
just
go back and watch TV.
Or just say hi to me.
We're just having fun. Yeah. Oh, she's so excited Daddy's home. She's so excited. All right, you want to go draw? She might join us. Guys, listen, usually this is why we go so late at night. Is because I got to wait for these guys to get in bed. And Ren will tell you, are your kids in bed yet? He texts me, are they in bed yet? Let's go.
Yeah. What time are we going tonight? 9:30. All right,
exactly.
10:15. You ready? Yeah, Brent. I'm ready. I've been ready.
So anyway, it's okay. You know what? This is a live show. She'll just join us. It'll be good. Everybody's This, by the way, you guys should also go to patreon.com/thepewtercast and sign up to support the show, because that support ultimately goes to this little one here, which is just adorable, at least to me. Anyway, let's get back to football. Ren here, Ren. What do we got? I think Ren froze on me. I lost Ren. Well, hey, listen, listeners, I've got Rendax who has, I think I have lost him from everyone. So we'll get him back in here just as soon as we possibly can. So you heard that Ren was, he was missing it, but you know, from the looks of it, it really, I say lame. It sounds lame. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to text her in here and see. This is part of the live thing. This gets edited out in the podcast feed. So we just lost all of our viewers. That's great. Come back. We'll see what he does. So anyway, so for my viewer, let's pull up. See, here's what I don't get is the, you know what we don't get is the, what do you call it? The, I don't get the chat room. Like I can't see the chat room in my window here for how we're putting things out. So let's go over to the chat room. Let's see who's there. You guys talk to me for a minute while I wait to get Ren back in here so we can continue the show. Yeah, there we go. Here. That's me. All right, here we go. All right, so I got one watching now. Let's say hi. Let's say hi to the chat room. And we'll check in on you guys here as well for my little bit. Ren will be back here soon, I think. I hope. You can't? What do you mean you can't? Yeah, it has no batteries. Just flashlight has no batteries. So hi to the new viewers. You guys are coming in. We are in a little bit of a break right now. I had some technical difficulties while we were going live. We lost Ren, and I'm trying to get Ren back. I'm hoping that maybe a nuke hasn't hit St. Pete. It's kind of what I'm hoping right now, because I have no responses from him before we're going. So this is awesome. Yeah. You guys are great. What do you guys want to know? What do you guys want to talk about? Let's talk about training camp. Let's talk about the Buccaneers. You guys are in there. I see we've got it. We've got a couple viewers. So go ahead and drop something in, and this will be your part. Let's see what you have to say. A couple things that have stood out to me. What haven't we talked about? So I'll tell you guys, when I go to training camp, it's an interesting thing because I am a little bit of a social butterfly, I guess you could say. Like I want to talk to people, I want to meet people, but usually when I wind up talking to people or meeting people, I wind up missing what's happening on the field. So that kind of happens. So I do have to kind of go off by myself sometimes intentionally so that I can make sure I'm seeing what's actually happening and tracking. But, you know, as they'll say, it's so often things are happening in such a way that like people are blocking your view, or you're not in the right spot, or things are moving so quick that by the time you figure out what's happening, they've already moved on to something else. And then there are other times when you're in the right spot at the right time and you see exactly what's happening. You can hear what the coaches are saying, and it's beautiful. And it's awesome just to watch football, and it makes you want to put on some pads and go out there and do it. But my favorite has been, bar none, watching Skylar Fulton coaching the wide receivers, followed very, very closely by Brent Buckner, and watching what he's doing. He is, I'll use the word magnetic. He is something to watch. He really is. But Skylar Fulton, man, he is a ball of energy. He's funny. He is checking these guys, and he's not even wearing pads. And you know, Buckner's like getting in people's faces, teaching them what to do. Skylar's like putting them through their paces, you know, and hollering at them. Very, very encouraging. So that certainly was probably one of my favorites. I love watching the offensive line. I used to be an offensive lineman, so I want to watch that. I don't even mind like watching their sled drills and their like their foot placement drills and all of those kinds of things. Those are fun to watch as well. So if I can't figure out what's going on with Ren, your crown. Lightning strike, the internet is down. So that is what happened. All right, guys. Well, here's what we're going to do. We are going to go ahead and close this up. We have lost Ren for today, for the foreseeable future here over the next hour. So yes, baby. It is. Yeah, it's your 3D thing. So you know what? I tell you what, you guys, for the sake of this video, well, because I know some people submitted some questions, but we'll wait. I know, baby. All right, because I've got her here too. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. I'm gonna cut this early, and as soon as we can get Ren back, as soon as their internet comes back up, we will be back. But make sure you check us out tonight about 8 o'clock. We'll have Justin on. If Ren can't be there, it'll just be me, and we'll also have Gene as well. So you guys are awesome, and we'll talk to you guys then. Peace out.